My name is Dan Gemis. I'm the broker owner and CEO of the Dan Gemis Real Estate Team. The team was founded in January of 2013, basically out of necessity after having worked, in the business for 3-4 years and working, what seemed like 150 hours a week. It just became, a moment of desperation. My oldest son was born in 2011, and for the first couple years, didn't see much of him. So that's how the team started. And from there, Lisa, my first assistant, who's now our operations manager, started in 2011, and then the rest of the team started growing in January of 13.
Hi, I'm Lisa Van der Meren. I'm the Director of Operations and a broker at the Dan Gemis Real Estate Team. I started with Dan in September of 2011. It was just Dan and I. I worked part-time. It quickly developed into full-time as time went on. Dan expanded the team and Kathy Talbot joined us. And from there, it just kept growing, and the team has grown leaps and bounds in the 8 years that I've been with him. When I joined Dan in September of 2011, I was looking for a part-time job, and I was looking to come to town. And when that job became available, I thought it would be a great fit because I have a law background in real estate, so I thought it would be a great fit. And as it turned out, it was, because since I've been with him, I've been licensed and got my broker since I've been with him. So it's turned out really well for both of us, I think. My role has continued to evolve with Dan, and now I run the office. I do all the behind-the-scenes work on the real estate deals. If there's a problem, a lot of times I fix it, and nobody knows any different. And the team runs incredibly well. We have systems in place to make that happen, and the agents, we do a lot of work so that the agents can focus on what they do best, which is the buying and selling, and we take care of the inner office paperwork. We help them as much as we can to allow them to do their job well.
So essentially, the team grew at quite a good pace, and from January of 2013, where we had just basically myself and Lisa, we had a media person, our full-time media person. Then we added Kathy Talbot in January, our first sales rep, other than myself. And then from that point on, we quickly kept adding more office people and more sales reps.
I will tell you how and why I hooked up with Dan. It's a pretty neat story, actually. I've known Dan for quite a long time because he married my niece. So he used to come to my house for all the Christmases and the Thanksgivings and the Easters. So I already knew him. And then when he got in real estate, I said, well, I'll help you, right? I'll help you get started. So we did that. And we were working at the same company, and we would go to all these conferences. We'd come back all fired up with ideas and plans and everything, and then of course we'd go our separate ways. And so finally one day we thought, hey, what if we actually work together? So we sat down and hammered out all the details, and it has been the best decision I've ever made. We work really well together. We have the same family values, the same morals. We love people. Dan is very honest and hardworking, and he appreciates the same value in other people. So I really liked that. I felt comfortable with him, of course, and he's just a kid to me. So I loved his enthusiasm, his great ideas. He brought like a whole fresh view of real estate to me, because I had already been in 18 years when we hooked up. And I brought experience and a great client base and still a love for real estate. And it has just complemented each other immensely. It's really worked out well.
So one of the things that was most important to me and to the team as a whole from a very early onset was basically not having myself on the road. So I wanted to make sure that as the team grew, we had more opportunity for the team members, for the partners, for the sales partners. And so from, I want to say about 2014 on, I came off the road as a full-time sales rep, and our sales representatives on the team took all the business. So anyone who called in from my past client base or anyone looking for me specifically works with all of our agents on the team.
I knew Dan and Kathy many years before I actually started selling real estate with them, and it was really funny because Dan would say to me, Susan, why don't you sell real estate? I know you help us with our mortgages, but you would be great on our team. And I said, oh, I can't do that. I said, the time that you spend away, I just don't have that time right now, and it's just too much for me to handle, right? And then actually I was sitting in my office here, and they had a trailer parked across the street, he and Kathy with their photo, and every morning they would be the first faces I saw in the morning, and at the end of the day they were the first faces I saw at the end of the day. And they always say the mind is subliminal, so I believe that that's what got me into it actually right now, because the time came when my son was older and I was able to focus more on my career and be able to work with them consistently every day.
My name is Joyce Blackmere. I'm the Director of Sales for the Dan Gemus Real Estate Team. I've been a licensed realtor for 13 years now. I sold real estate in a different market with my husband. We moved down here about 5 years ago to the Windsor, Essex area, and we decided at that time that we would take our time getting back into the market again until we learned the area enough to really be able to serve and support our clients. Thank God we took the time that we needed, because otherwise we probably wouldn't have met Dan and the team. Something that we're really happy about and something that I'm super proud to be a part of.
My name's Lisa Moretto, and I'm a sales representative with the Dan Gemus Real Estate Team. I started out on my own. I've been in the business for about 5 or 6 years. When I started out, I had a graphic design experience, so I have about 10 years of experience in that. So I spent a lot of time working on advertising, postcards, virtual tours, or slideshows. And so it's hard for me to let go of that side of things. And getting busier, I realized it was going to be harder to maintain that level of management and media presence. So having a team behind you, you can really just focus on what's important, which is the clients and making sure that you're making a good connection with them. So it's really nice to not have to worry about that. I was curious. I've seen Dan Gemus advertising all the time. It's something that you kind of just, I saw it there, but you try and not pay too much attention to it because you're busy working, right? And you're happy where you are at the time. And it got to a certain point in my career where I thought, hey, you know what? Maybe it's time for a change. So I decided to pay attention to the advertising. I went onto their website and I looked at the recruitment video actually, and I watched the whole thing from start to finish and realized it sounded really good actually. So I called Joyce and the rest is history. A lot of things in the recruitment video just made sense to me. A lot of it just appealed to me in terms of being able to focus on what's important. Because in this business, when you do get busier, it's hard to manage all of those different things.
My name's Aaron Blackmere. I'm a sales representative with the Dan Gemus Real Estate Team. I'm listing homes, helping buyers, a lot of exciting stuff like that. I actually came from a different market. I'm actually from the Georgian Triangle area, a little town called Stayner, which is outside of Wasaga Beach and Collingwood. I've actually sold real estate there for 10 years, moved down here about 5 years ago, and had kids that were going to be attending the University of Windsor, St. Clair College, and my wife and I decided it was a good time to set down some new roots in a different area. Came down here, fell in love with the area, and decided it was time to get back in the business of real estate, and that's how I joined the Dan Gemus Real Estate Team. Went and being in the business before, I kind of knew how things worked and kind of knew where I wanted to be, kind of things I wanted with a brokerage I was going to work in, and Dan checked all those boxes. And sitting with him and talking with him, it was just it was a good fit.
Hi, I'm Cassie, sales representative with the Dan Gemus Real Estate Team. I got into real estate through talking to a couple of people here and there. I worked at a physiotherapy office and a dental office for several years, and I loved interacting with the community and the people we had there and the customers we had there. And I kind of got talking to a little bit more people about real estate. Kind of started taking some of the courses and then started to talk with Dan and a little bit of his team, and then I started to love it. which was kind of cool. So I started to work my way, started to meet some people and talk to some people. I loved working with the community and working one-on-one with people. And working through different offices and the different dynamics of the people and different populations, I really enjoyed that. So once I got started with real estate and really got out there, I noticed things just kind of took off, and I started doing really well. I got more, and I was learning more and more all the time, which was great.
My name is Andrew Paper, and I'm the Media and Marketing Manager for the Dan Gemmis Real Estate team. I joined the team back in 2012 when the team was still small, but the concept of the support system was still in place for the team. So since 2012, we've seen the team grow in size, and since then also changed brokerages from the old brokerage to a standalone brokerage on its own.
My name is Elliot Hale, and I'm the video content creator with the Dan Gemmis Real Estate team. So a unique advantage of the Dan Gemmis Real Estate team is that there is myself and Andrew who's in charge of the video content. What this kind of allows is Andrew to be able to do the listings and all of the marketing sides of it, as well as myself to actually put together a lot more different kinds of video content, such as our Essex County Eats series and a lot of our other just side series that we have going on.
I'm Tina LaBelle. I'm the Inside Sales Associate on the Dan Gemmis Real Estate team. I actually joined the team as a on-the-road sales agent about 4 years ago. I decided to draw back from on-the-road sales and wanted to just go into more of an administrative position. So I actually left the team for a few years, and Dan had this wonderful opportunity in the inside sales department arise, and we discussed about it, and I, being experienced with the team, thought the role would be a great fit for us both.
Unlike other teams in the industry, whether it's locally or throughout the country in North America, a lot of the team leaders are still selling. And so the question is, when a lead comes in, does that lead come to the team leader, or does it go to the team? Sometimes they can be choosy. If it's a good lead, then it'll go to the team leader. If it's so-so, it might go to the sales rep. On our case, with the Dan Gemmis team, that's not an issue. All leads go to the sales reps, and if by some coincidence or one of my past clients really wants me involved, I'll typically go to the first meeting and do a soft introduction, and at that point they're comfortable with the others on our team, and they proceed that way.